And thank you very much for watching. So, for those who don't know me, I am the solo founder of Banned Books Art, and I think we're going to be doing a postmortem on a Twitter space that I was co-hosting yesterday. There's some background on this, and I've forgotten it. Okay, so during the space yesterday, something happened, and normally when things happen in spaces, it gets addressed right away because we're all adults and we have business, and the professional thing to do is to deal with each other professionally, and or we let it lie and we are polite to each other. I might be in a space that I personally find important and I just personally do not like somebody, but that doesn't mean I get to be rude to them. It just means that I get to be quiet, say my piece, hold my peace, conduct myself in a professional manner, and then go to a different space that I'm enjoying more, which has nothing to do with this right here, what happened, but I will introduce you to everyone in the picture right now. So if we go to nfttalk.space really quick, Visual Zellers was the host last night for this space, and how this was working was I went to a space earlier in the night. I'm good friends with the host, and so when he ended his space a half an hour into my space, everyone piled into my space. And then when my space was done an hour later, I went into Visual Seller's space and wound up being the co-host. So I had been in spaces for hours at this point, and I was working on my metaverse while I was co-hosting and talking to people, because there's no way I can do all of these spaces all of the time and, get my custom-made metaverse gallery into the world without multitasking. So, yeah, Visual Zellers, we're working together. She's making promotional videos for Banned Books Art. If you go onto my website right now, you can see her Grimm Fairy Tales promotional video for me. And so far, we've been having a really good professional relationship, honestly. Like, we're friends. What can I say? I am a little biased to Visual Zellers. Her name is Carrie, which I don't even feel comfortable calling her Carrie, but Zeller, I usually call her. I am a little biased to her in this situation. I'm just saying that. And you can hold, first of all, the new month just rolled over, so everyone's rankings are out of whack, and the way that they do it, it doesn't even mean anything, but she's in the top 1,000 NFT speakers. She's been doing this for a few months. She kind of knows what she's doing. She's been trying to do this particular space weekly on Mondays, and usually it's a good time. My name is Amy. I have been doing Banned Books Art. I usually am within the top 100, but I'm also doing a full stack Solidity course, so I've been, knocked from my rankings a little bit, but I do spend an inordinate amount of time in Twitter spaces, doing all types of spaces, from shill spaces to industry, talking about very technical things. I have hundreds of hours every month of experience inside of Twitter spaces, and talking and being introduced to different types of personalities and working with people. And then Matthew, I just do not know as well. He is a marketer. He has a personality that is very outgoing, and I do not wind up in rooms with him super often because I prefer really like orderly and networking type spaces, and I don't particularly care for free minting, honestly, which will come up later. But we just go to different types of spaces. I haven't really had any issues with Matthew. We just don't know each other super well. I was under the impression that Matthew and Zeller had a closer relationship with each other, like not like just as NFT artists and going to the similar type of spaces. So like this is setting the stage for I actually went back and re-listened to I found the clip because sometimes we remember things differently than how it actually happened, and the truth is, somewhere in the middle. And I don't have context into what Zeller was thinking. I don't have context into what Matthew is thinking. I do know what I was feeling at the time, and so this is a review of the situation from my perspective, which I want to get out in the open before we get any further into any type of Twitter spaces or publicly getting this resolved, because sometimes it's hard with more powerful personalities to get a word in edgeways, and I am in a room alone with my cats right now, so I can speak as much as I want, or as much as whoever is sitting here can stand to listen to me. So I feel like this is a very long-winded thing. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That's just what I say. But Matthew is now asking us if we want to go on a Zoom or a space, and I really just want to leave this alone after I have what I have to say. So this happened at an hour and 33 minutes into this. We had just listened to Frenchie. He was playing the guitar. He did like a make-up song where everyone contributed something to this imaginary box. And then we were admiring Chone's PFP, and that's where we are. It got a little spicy, so Stacy said goodnight. Hope you sleep well in your bed tonight. So we're just hanging out. No one's shilling anything. Frenchie is amazing. I really enjoyed this made-up box music. I still think that the triple calico koi was a tricky thing for him to be put into a box, but he made it through it, and he's amazing.
I love it.
Are we ready to rock and roll? So I pinned up a tweet there saying that this has been an amazing space already. Lots of
I am also guilty of posting things to the top when I have not asked permission. And usually, one of three things have happened. Sometimes it's user error. Sometimes I go to copy it to my clipboard to put it in the bottom, and I just share it to the space instead because, I don't know, Twitter UI is dumb, and I've done it like twice, but now I'm always paranoid about it. Or it's a shill space and it's expected that you do it. And so I don't ask permission because everybody else has done it and it's expected that you do it. And then the third situation is I'm actually kind of shy. So sometimes I'll just put it up, and then, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. And it's usually not a big deal. So, sure, this happens. the protocol is ask, then pin. But, whatever, we're friends.
And a great singer in our room now with lots of amazing artists. I think I can give away some NFT art, so I'm rewarding some people, and then I'm bribing some other people to get in here to connect with one another. People. So if you want, you can retweet that thing, and we can get crazy, and people can.
Well, Matthew,
select,
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of giving away free NFTs in my space.
Yeah, why?
A lot to unpack here. So, not every space needs to be super crazy. This is a very cozy space. We have friends. There's some spaces are meant to be mega spaces, and those have the free mints. They're advertised as such. They get hyped. They get crazy. They say crazy things. They're rude to each other. Whatever's happening, that's not what was happening in this space. This space there was a contained amount of people in there. People weren't rushed in the speaker panel. We were, able to talk, having a natural conversation. And, it's fine. These are actually as legitimate as a shill space, because you wind up knowing people on a more personal level. And when you know someone, that type of networking is my personal opinion is free minting attracts crowds, right? And for vanity metrics, it's really good. But it also attracts the type of people that want free mints and not necessarily your collectors. Because your collectors don't want your artwork for free. They want to pay you money so that you can go ahead and survive as an artist. So there's nothing wrong with posting this up and offering to, give out some NFTs. It was a kind offer, okay? You do not have to give out free NFTs. Nobody asked you for it. And then it wasn't expected, and it's not your only value in this space. We, enjoy your company without having to give free NFTs. So, and then Zeller did say, hey, I do not normally give out free NFTs. And I just stated a bunch of reasons, but it just changes the vibe of the entire room. And she is the host, and she's allowed to say, I do not want to be giving out free NFTs in this space. And she does not owe you an explanation about it, because we can have a debate surrounding marketing tactics. And we can argue whose way is more effective, or which has the longer lasting effects. And the only way we'll ever know is 5 years down the road who is more successful. And I prefer to just respect everyone's, because everyone plays Twitter differently, right? I'm trying to be unproblematic and consistent and just being, genuine and friendly to everybody. Zeller is doing Zeller. I don't want to speak for Zeller. Zeller has her own voice. She's speaking very well. She's taking up for herself really well in this space right now. And Matthew has his own vibe where, his type of marketing is how he's doing it. And, there's nothing, if he was in his own space, if he was with a host that they had agreed to do this beforehand, or it was the type of space where everyone was chilling and giving away free mints, there's nothing wrong with this tactic. It's pretty common inside of spaces. So there's that.
No, I just usually don't do that. We can do it, but I usually don't do that.
Well, but
And it's really hard as a host, okay? If someone's trying to push a space in a direction they do not want to be in or go in, there's only so many direct ways that, oh, wow, okay, Amy, doing a bad job of not showing DMs. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So now, like I said, now I'm getting sucked into things. Anyway, I was going with stuff that derailed me. But oh yeah, so I don't have to be super direct and rude to someone for them to get a hint. It's really difficult. There's definitely a line. And, you know, if you don't catch the hint, like, I personally am not going to be rude to you and tell you no. I wouldn't, but, like, it puts the host in an awkward position to demand something, and when they tell you no, and then you say, well, why not? And then, like, we don't really want to have this debate right now. So, I mean, I inherently understood where Zeller was coming from. I do understand that the offer was made earnestly, and that I guess is appreciated. I mean, I guess, you know.
brings more people in, and there's a lot of people that could actually use some money. And I'm actually going to expand the program pretty quick. That, you know, right now people can.
Actually, this is at 1 minute right now. And he kind of started a few seconds before this. Let's see how long this goes for.
Pick a low price, medium, and a high price NFT up to 0.6 ETH. They pick from my OpenSea, and there's about over 500 NFTs right there. You know, it's basically guerrilla marketing. It's helping, you know, those who want to enter. It's helping them get a chance to win something. If you're rich and famous and you don't need the NFT or money, and you know another artist that's struggling, you can say, okay, well, Zeller can pick. And then based on who you are, if I know you and you're giving back to the community, there's a good chance you'll get that high priced one. If I don't know you and you're not retweeting the room, you're not showing love, and you just got lucky and won, then I may give you the medium or the low priced one. And soon I will be offering to give you a pick of one of mine. And then soon there'll be a liquidity pool where you actually don't have to get the NFT. I can give you a cryptocurrency. So I'm a marketer. I've been around the business world basically all my life, and I'm a musician. Well, I'm an artist. I've been around that basically all my life. So I'm doing what I can to stimulate, one, your room, two, stimulate the NFT marketplace, three, help people in need. And there's actually way too many artists in need right now. So, you know, you don't have to. I mean, you can delete that, and I can delete that tweet, or we can have fun and see if it works and get more people in here and have excitement. Because to me, it's all about connecting great people to other great people.
Okay, so we'll stop it there. It was a 1 and 30-second pitch when it could have just been like, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. The offer stands if you change your mind. That is much shorter and much more respectful. And, like, I'm not going to tone shame anyone or correct anybody on their behavior, except for when I get called into the drama. You know, I conduct myself differently than other people conduct themselves in Twitter spaces. And if I'm told no by a host, I usually just let the matter drop because it's their space and their vibe. And, like, it's not that we're too stupid to understand what a free mint is or what it does to a space or, you know, how it might help or not help. It's just that this was not the time and this was not the place for this type of event. Like, we aren't looking to do free mints in this space because we are just hanging out. And this is, like I said before, it is as legitimate as a shill space, and it is as effective as free minting. And it's just not okay to, like, try to mansplain like we're stupid, that we don't understand what a free mint, or like you know, this is your project, and we were not shilling or sharing projects at this moment.
I am absolutely 100% on board with that. I just wanted to let you know that I never have.
So I don't know if she was actually 100% on board with this, but it's kind of awkward to tell somebody no and then them push back. And it kind of, well, let's just keep going.
I'm giving away. Oh, thumbs down. Forget it.
What? No, I hit the wrong button.
Down in here.
Oh man, you know, Twitter UI is so bad. Why is Twitter UI bad? I think that was a joke, but maybe not. Like, I think Zeller was joking a little bit, but maybe, I don't know. I can't put words in her mouth. I thought it was funny at the time. Like, I got the same reaction as Chaz right now.
Either.
Hey, I hit the wrong button.
You know what? I mean, I at least got respect for, if this is her space, let's let her do it the way she wants. And, like, just because someone's giving me something that they think is of value, I mean, nice to meet you, Matthew. You sound like a good dude, you know? But, like, I mean, that was kind of just a long-winded shill for yourself, bro. I'm just
really?
Call it what it was. Yeah,
that's your opinion of what you think it was.
I mean, it was. And thank you, Bob, for saying something and being direct. And sometimes when you think that you're trying to offer something, you know, it can be hurtful if someone rejects it because you think that you're being genuine and trying to help them and that they're being ungrateful. But it's also true that if someone didn't ask you for something, they don't have to be gracious when they tell you no. Like, they don't have to be grateful because you've given them, like, they're just, like, it's hard. Yeah. The term that's coming to my brain is shit sandwich. Like, you know, if someone hands you a shit sandwich, are you going to say thank you and then make, you know, and eat it as they watch you? Like, no, you're going to be like, why did you give me this shit sandwich? And, you know, throw it away. And I'm not saying that your NFTs are shit sandwiches or that, you know, your pitch is shitty or that the offer wasn't genuine or that you couldn't have generated actual sales. That's not what I was saying. I'm just saying that at the moment, she'd already told you no. You were being pushy about saying yes. She was trying to, from my perspective at least, make it less awkward. And then Bob said something and he was being polite about it, okay? Like, you seem like a good dude, you know, stuff like that, where, like, if he was trying to be rude about it, it would have been worded way differently. And I understand that feelings were hurt in the middle of this, but, you know, it's just about how you conduct yourself in a space.
I know what that was. I don't need you to tell me what I know it is.
You think it was a shield for me?
Yeah.
Well, I think you're an asshole.
Okay. I'm not even sure why it needs to be said that you don't call people an asshole in a space where you're trying to be a professional. Like, there's ways to debate topics. There's ways to respect each other. And calling someone an asshole is just stopping all civil discourse. And it either dissolves into like a sling match, or I mean there's no way to recover from that civilly. And I just, in this moment, I'm 100% in Bob. Well, yeah, pretty much 100% in Bob's corner here, where, he listened to Zeller, and he picked up in the situation, and he was trying to gently correct Matthew, and then he got attacked, and that is not okay. Like, it's a host's job to make sure that no speaker attacks another speaker, and it's just like, don't put the host and the co-host in that situation. And I'm going to kind of put words in Matthew's mouth over this, but what he's trying to do, like, he's bought a bunch of NFT art, like over 500 pieces as far as I can gather, and he's trying to give it away as a promotion for these artists, and hopefully, if people resell it, then the artists can get their secondary sales, and like, it's kind of philanthropic. And so he's positioning this as he's doing it as a favor to the artist, like on their behalf. So it's not a selfish reason why he is doing these free mints. At least that's where I'm gathering that's where he's coming from. And like, that's fine. But it's still your project, and it's still what you are up to. And that's what Bob was saying, that like, you just spent a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes, explaining your project, which, I mean, is like for the benefit of other artists, but we had just said we don't want free mints, so it wasn't like the appropriate space to introduce your project. And like, yeah, I mean, I have further thoughts on this, but like, we have only a few more seconds of this, and I didn't record the rest of what everything said, and I don't remember how much I actually said against Matthew, but in the space, in the moment, let's watch the rest of this, and then I'll give final thoughts, I guess.
Call anybody a name. I just called you what you are.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, honestly, yeah, we're not going to do that, Bob. I really appreciate that. And why are you calling him an asshole, Matthew?
Because he just called me. He just said I was shilling for me. He just said I did it for me.
That was his opinion, but you're calling him an asshole, and I know you run your space differently, but I don't really like giving out free NFTs, and you didn't ask me. Like, that's the problem. And it's like, that's what Bob's saying. I'm running my space.
I will delete the tweet.
You don't have to delete it, Matthew. You're not, it's just like, oh, God.
Okay. So at that point, Matthew dropped out of the space, which, I mean, he didn't escalate it, so there's that. But I mean, obviously Matthew took offense to what Bob said. That didn't mean that he had the right to call Bob an asshole. Zeller told him she didn't really want to do free NFTs. he was insistent she was going to let him because it's easier just to let someone that's being pushy do whatever the hell they want. And then Bob spoke up and it escalated, and now we don't have free NFTs and we have plenty of drama. So, okay. How can I make everybody out to be a good person in this situation? After this happened, there's this guy called Philip, and he was giving Zeller a thumbs down because she was venting about some things that were happening in the background, and he came into a potentially hostile space, and he spoke his mind, defending Matthew, and for that, I wish I could follow him twice, because that's a very stand-up thing to do. Chaz, he spoke about, treating Matthew empathetically, and I totally understand that. And everyone is a human. Everyone has a different perspective. Everyone approaches and interprets situations differently. And I really respect that as like an outlook in life. Frenchie, I wish he could break up all fights on Twitter because he has a guitar and that was way better than whatever I was mumbling. So yeah, I was trying to de-escalate this because that escalated rather quickly. And then it was Zeller's job as the host, to make sure that, Bob was not attacked further, and to communicate with everybody else in the speaker panel and make sure that everyone was behaving civilly. So, as I said before, I'm biased towards Zeller. We all have biases in life. I will say that I don't think that Matthew is a bad person. I think that if he's in a space where you're supposed to chill and it's a place that's welcoming of free NFTs, and it's a kind of a wild space like where he's at home, then it's a good idea. Like, it's a cool idea that he's doing that. He's buying the artist work and he's promoting them for free, and for that, thank you, Matthew, I guess. So I think I'm sorry it came to this, I guess, would be what I'm sorry for. We all have moments of we need to vent after things like this happen because it's extraordinary, and after drama, like, you just need to let off the nervous energy, and so we let it go on for a little bit. And my personal philosophy is that people are allowed to vent. It's better as a professional to do the venting, with someone one-on-one and not in a recorded space, but I'm pretty sure if you actually dug through all of my recordings that I've been doing worse. I'm guilty of venting in spaces, and that is something that I will try not to do in the future because, if someone's not in the room to defend themselves, it shouldn't be said. Like, if you can't say it to their face, then is it really worth saying anything? And the only other thing is that sometimes with really strong personalities, it's hard when, at least in my feeling, that unless I'm literally yelling, that it's difficult to get them to even stop talking enough to listen. And then even then, it's hard to tell if, I'm even being listened to, or because, like, I was a Japanese major. I like being subtle. I don't want to come out and tell someone to stop. I'll say something that's very subtle and ambiguous and just really hope that someone can pick up on social cues. And I really do better in more structured spaces where we take turns and we're polite with each other, and that's just how I personally am, and how I thrive. So this is why I decided to do a live stream by myself without anybody here to defend themselves, so that if we do wind up doing one of these type of spaces, hopefully not at 1 a.m, to clear the air, that at least I was able to get my opinion about what happened out in the open. So that's it. Thank you for sitting through this drama with me. Hopefully you didn't find me at fault. I didn't even say anything, really. I was just like, hey, this escalated, like, kind of quickly, y'all. Like, but yeah, that's my opinion. That no means no. That, you know, we should be less pushy about things and respect rooms, and hopefully we can exist in spaces together and it not be an issue. So anyway, have a good night, and check out all 3 of us. Honestly, I'm doing cool things with Bambooks Art. Zeller makes amazing videos, and Matthew wants to help people with his marketing. So yeah, I'm recommending all 3 of us, I guess. Have a